Hey guys, Dustin here with Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and today I'll be showing you how to install the Tusk Pannier Racks on a KTM 690. The Tusk Pannier Rack kit will come complete with the pannier racks and also some hardware. So we've got our rack hardware here and our box hardware over here. This stuff we're not going to be installing today, but if you do pick up the Tusk Pannier aluminum boxes, these will be necessary in order to get those set up on the bike. Now, just a few tools that we'll need here today. We've got a 10mm box open and wrench. We've got 8, 10, 12mm sockets, as well as a 6mm socket with driver. We've got our Tusk 3/4 inch spade drill bit that'll be used to drill out the holes on the fender. And as well, we have a 3mm hex Allen wrench that we'll be using to remove our gas cap with. So that's the tools and everything that we're gonna need to do this project. So let's go ahead and get started. To install the Tusk Pannier racks, we're going to need to drill some holes. The top part of the racks are going to mount right here on the fender. So in order to set those bolts, we need to drill some holes in the rear fender. Now your bike may have these already in place. If your bike has the grab handles on some of the 690s, you won't have to worry about drilling the holes. If you don't, which you most likely don't have the holes in your rear fender, we'll need to get this removed so we can get those holes drilled. Now in order to do so, we got to take off our seat. Now we can remove the gas fill cap. With the gas cap removed, we're gonna go ahead and take a rag and we're gonna stuff it inside of the hole just so that way, while we're working on it, we don't get any kind of debris inside of our gas tank. Next, we can grab our 6mm socket wrench and begin to remove the 3 fasteners that hold the top part of the fender to the mudguard. Back up top, we've got 4 bolts we need to remove. We've got 2 on the top side, and then we've got 1 on each side of the bike. With those 4 fasteners removed, now we can remove our fender. Here we have our OEM KTM 690 rear fender. We'll flip this over, and if you look real close, you'll notice we have 4 preset hole locations. This is where we will drill the 3/4 inch hole with our Tusk spade drill bit. So now we can go ahead and get these holes drilled out. So here we have our fender that we've removed. Obviously we already have our holes drilled out, but for sake of video purposes, we went ahead and shown you where those holes are going to be drilled on the OEM fender. So now that we've got this ready to go for our Tusk Pannier Rack install, we can go ahead and put this back onto the bike. Install the first 4 bolts that we removed earlier to get the rear fender off. Next, we can install the 3 screws on the bottom side of the mudguard. Next, we're going to remove the ankle guards from the right and left sides of the bike. For this, I'm going to be using a 10mm T-handle. Once we get this right side removed, we're going to go ahead and move over to the other and get the left side removed as well. Okay, back to the top side of the bike, we can go ahead and remove this rag, then we can get our gas cap reinstalled. Next, we can remove the 4 bolts from the holes that we have just drilled in our fender. Now we can install our Tusk Pannier Racks. First, we're going to grab our 4 spacers, place these into the holes that we have just drilled. Take our Tusk right side pannier rack, grab one 8 by 55 millimeter bolt, one 8 by 60 millimeter bolt. Mock this up into place. We're going to slide our longer bolt into the rear side and our shorter bolt into the front side. We'll go ahead and get these loosely started with our fingers. Next, we're going to take our 8 by 20 millimeter Allen bolt and we're going to thread this into place. Now, before you just throw it in there, we're going to take our Allen bolt, set it through the plate, and then we're going to take the washer and set it just on the other side so that it's the washer sitting in between the rear set and our rack. And we'll just take and thread this loosely into place just with our fingers. Do the same for the bottom fastener. And then we'll repeat the same steps for the other side. Now I'm just going to take my tool and thread the fasteners in just a little bit further. And I'm going to keep everything loose as far as the fasteners are concerned until I get everything installed. Next, we're going to take the rear brace and we're going to kind of set it in place here. Now when you set this in place, make sure you've got your Tusk sticker on the right hand side of the bike. So we're going to take our 4 fasteners. These are the 6 by 8 millimeter hex head bolts. We're going to place the fastener inside of here. On the other side, we're going to place our washer. And then we can thread one of our nylock nuts. Okay, so now that we've got our right side temporarily set, we can move on to the left side. Bolt, then washer on the back side, followed by a nylock nut. Now that we've got our fasteners loosely mounted, we can go through and tighten everything up. Now starting at the front of the bike, we're going to go ahead and tighten these 2 fasteners down. Once these are nice and snug, we can go ahead and move to the top side of the bike. Next, we're going to tighten these 12 millimeter hex head bolts. Make sure they're nice and snug. Once we've got these secured on our right side pannier rack, we can go ahead and move over to the left side pannier rack, get those fasteners secured, then we can move on to the rear brace. So now we can go ahead and get these rear fasteners secured. So I'm using a 10 millimeter box open end wrench and our 10 millimeter T-handle. And that's how you install the Tusk Pannier Racks. Once you've got the racks in place, go ahead and get your seat installed, and now you're ready for some luggage. Be sure to check out the Tusk aluminum boxes that mount great with these pannier racks, as well as the wide variety of soft luggage that we carry too. Tusk also incorporated right here, we've got a spot so that you can mount a passenger peg so you can take a friend with you on those long adventure rides. You can find all this and more at RockyMountainATVMC.com. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Dustin, and keep turning those wrenches.